Alright. Going live. Should I put this here? Maybe. Do some sound checks. Make sure the volume's too crazy for the sound, the music. I know this is kind of just a random go live, but I felt like going live. Felt like opening a box. I like opening packs of cards. And I got these boxes for $88 shipped, so it's the least chance of losing money. Our first boxes were horrible, but opening Phyrexia will be one is actually pretty fun. You get some of the cool full bordered cards. You don't get anything too crazy. I kind of would like to open up some Phyrexia packs, but it seems pretty decent. Maybe the volume could go down just a smidge on the music, but overall, I don't know, maybe that. Just a little bit more. So I'm just going to start cracking, and if people come in, they come in. I didn't really tell anybody about this. I just kind of came downstairs from playing Dungeons & Dragons, and I was like, I feel like opening cards. I probably intend to open up all of the $88 boxes that I get, and maybe sell the cards. Maybe use some of the cards. I don't know. It feels weird opening packs of cards because the last box that I opened, I just didn't really do anything with. But if I need the cards, I need the cards. I've definitely been doing that. And this is a good set. I like it. Last time Rob and I opened a box together, both of our boxes were pretty low, but his box was definitely worse. So, the idea is that if I open the rest of the case, they can't possibly all be bad, right? I'm looking over there, like the camera's over there. Whoops, my bad. But it's over here, because if it was over here, then the camera, I think, would be in the way. You guys getting a different angle. So yeah, we'll move this off to the, I don't know, right there. And we'll see how the graphics look, or not graphics, but the viewing of the cards. See if I need to go in further. Maybe? Past all the junk. The first rare is a Miklaw's Maze Crusher. I do like these lands as well, though, so that'll be nice to have some lands. Tokens as well. I think Incubate's got a pretty cool, got a pretty good place for artifact lovers. I do like me some artifacts. Got an Eternal Wanderer. What I really should do... Oh, a nice Phyrexian Swamp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the actual MTG Goldfish. Let's see what kind of hits that we're looking for. I have a general idea, but I'd rather just have the list of the actual sets. Phyrexia, all will be one. Make sure it is on tabletop. But basically, it looks like Elish Norn, Mondrak, Atraxa, and the Sword. Vraska, all will be one, in the Obliterator are like the top cards that we're looking for. The Eternal Wanderer doesn't look like... Isn't it getting played, though? I've seen it getting played in Standard. A little interesting that it's not worth anything. I guess it is just rare. Or maybe it's only... Maybe the stuff I was watching was only draft. Probably just draft. Alright. Rivnod Carnage Dominus. Well, it's a mythic, but don't see it in the top... Not over $5, so... A little unfortunate. I'm digging the lands, though. I wouldn't mind an Atraxa. I want to build Atraxa, the Grand Unifier version. It's pretty cool. I feel like it's one of those commanders that is maybe going to be too strong. Encroaching Mycosynth. Like for like a casual play, friends groups. Although some of my friends, they play some pretty degenerate decks, so maybe not. Not tons of counter spells though, so you'll most likely get... Oh, that's right, there's going to be I probably need to like blast through because there's some of the cool Phyrexian versions of cards. I'll pull those off to the side. Staff of Completion. Not over $5. Oh no, it is 5. It's 551. Oh, $5 there. That's not bad. I wonder if you can get the Phyrexian showcase. Is it like a showcase version or just an alternate version of all of the cards? Do you have to look through the commons as well? Cure of Silence. He's not worth anything. I really don't care too much about foils unless they're cool. Sudden Edict or Children's Edict. Foil variety. Nice Phyrexian mountain there. So far, Phyrexia Mountain, Phyrexian Swamp. There's Leonin. Oh, Lightbringer. Another Leonin card. Blissa Sunslayer. Paramorphic Expanse. Can't reprint that enough. White Sun's Twilight, I think, was a decent White Sun. Although none of them look to be above $5, so nothing crazy there. So far, the only decent hit would be the Staff. Yeah, we'll just kind of believe that the better hits up top. There has to be an Atrax or an Elishnorn in this box somewhere. I pulled a Mondrak. The first box that I opened. We got something fancy. I do like that. I like that you can get fancy versions of cards in the draft packs. Yeah, see, you can. Okay. These I like. I like those. And what do we got? Rhea Ivor Bane of Bladehold. Looks cool, but not really worth anything. And then a foil Migalaz Maze Crusher. Rhea. I should probably pull this like over here maybe? Yeah, that's probably better. I keep having to like dodge my camera arm. And neither one of those are worth anything, but a Phyrexian Plains probably worth more than the rares. I guess Drivnod is $4.89. That's kind of a hit. I'd say anything more than like, or anything around $5 is a hit. So there's Staff of Completion and the Drivnod. I assume none of these are really worth anything as far as value, but they look cool. I'll pull them to the side. Red Sun's Twilight. Nothing crazy there. I don't think I've seen any of the Twilights above $5. What I really need to do is I'm really waiting for Skrelv. Skrelv is good. Yeah, Skrelv is $5. I'm really hoping to get some Mom once Rudy puts the sale out. That box looks really fun to, or that set looks really fun to open. Oh, this is a token. I thought it was one of those fucking packs, or those, hey, evening, Johnny. It was one of those token, or the useless things that don't have token on it. Another white bordered card there. Kira, Living Cure. How about Malira? Malira worth anything? Normally Maliras are decent. Nope, nothing. Phyrexian Horror. Yeah, I may order some collector's boxes of March the Machine. I probably already missed the boat. I think I saw them going up in price, so maybe it's too late. But the collector's boxes seem very fun to open. Jace the Perfected Mind. That's about $4 or so. So I would say that's a hit. Close to $5. It's good. So far, $15 of the 88 that I spent for the box. Not great. But it really only takes... You basically got to hit both the top cards in order to make any money. Probably why people aren't excitedly happy. I think the set's pretty good, but value-wise, It's almost near impossible to make your money, but I haven't pulled an Atraxa yet, so I'm like, well, let's pull an Atraxa. Just because, why not? I don't think I pulled an Elish Norn either. I know I pulled a Mondrak. Maybe even pulled 2 Mondraks. An Elish Norn. So Green Sun's Twilight. Mind Splice Apparatus is on the rise for usefulness. Mind Splice Apparatus. What rarity is that? Sounds. Oh, there it is. Mind Splice Apparatus. Rare. Flash at the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on Mind Splice Apparatus. Instant source you suppose you cost 1 less for each. I mean, yeah, that's pretty solid. Because it's got flash, you don't have to, like, you know, sink a bunch of mana into it. You can leave mana open, especially in blue, for counter spells and such. And then just before your turn, you can flash it in. Malcator Purity Overseer. So what's it worth? It's worth 70 cents. Well, you know. Probably too common. Honestly, just pulling an Atraxa, even if she is only 20 bucks, I would be pretty happy with just an Atraxa. I mean, obviously an Elish Norn would be fantastic as well. Hey, a Sword of the Frontier. That's a hit. Sword of the Frontier is $18. So that's nice. And then a foil. You know, these foil lands, they look... Wow, this is actually... It's actually completely weird. It looks like almost cloudy, like it's foggy. I noticed that in the foiling in this set. But that's... What? I don't even know what that is. 266, so it's just a normal... Is that what a normal forest looks like? Oh, it is. It just looks... It looks very different. Just because of the foiling. That's cool. Foil forest. I mean, back in the day, foil lands used to be worth money, but nowadays it's probably 20 cents. Yeah, I can see the Mind Splicer being pretty nice. I don't know if I've actually pulled one or not. Sawblade Scamp. With a funky looking card. Boom! Vindicator Flamestoker. Not anything good there. Some tokens are flipped over and some of them are not. I was going to record this as a video, but I just felt like going live. I don't really go live too often, and I've been playing Honkai Star Rail. Another Skrull. Oh, this is Skrull's Hive. This one's not the one that's worth anything. The Skrull Defector Might is worth money, but that one's not. Oh, that's right. Skrull should be in the money. So far, not the worst hits. I mean, 18 plus another 15, 33, 38 bucks worth of value so far. This is the crap that I don't understand. Just, there's no use for it. It's just garbage. Just have it be a token or something. Yeah, I've been playing Honkai Star Rail, but I played it too much to the point where, like, unless I spend money on the game, I actually can't progress further. Because they do this stupid thing where they limit how far you can get into the storyline based on your level. And you can't get higher level. Black Sun's Twilight. You can't get higher level unless you either wait and do dailies per day and you get experience based on that, or you pay money and use your energy potions, which I think the energy potions are better served for later on. I don't want to waste them right now. I have enough to probably get to the level I need to get to, maybe. Well, there's a Wanderer peeking out there. I don't want to waste the potion. Foil Wanderer is kind of cool. I wonder if these warp. I don't know if they've ever fixed their cringling problem. The Kringles. And what I'll do after this box opening, I think I'm going to look in to see if there's any more spoilers that I missed from the, what is it called? Aftermath. Another Staff of Completion. That's a little weird. Weird to get duplicate mythics. I'd rather have duplicate swords than duplicate mythics, but you know, it is a $5 bill. I think it'd be almost near impossible, even if you pulled all the good hits to make the amount of money. What are these down to? Are these down to $80 now? Last time I looked on TCG, the Phyrexia all will be one. They were cheap, which it makes sense. They kind of have to be. So we're looking at high to low, an actual booster box. 95. Okay, so they went back up. I swear I looked at it. Let me see. I looked at the 1 month. Yeah, it dipped all the way down into the 87 was the lowest. Now it jumped back up to the 95. How do you get $95 worth of value? Yeah, exactly. Like it's very I don't understand how you're supposed to. I get that you're not. If you made money, then everybody would just buy it, and then it would. It's difficult. It's difficult to open a pack of a box of Magic nowadays and actually like make any money. Like if I were to try to sell everything, and then like do the. I mean, obviously you typically open it just for fun, which is what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, is it really fun if you're losing money? I do like money. Even at $88 a box, which is what I got these for, it's still like the first box I opened, I did not make my money back. So I highly doubt. There's Tyvar Stand. I highly doubt that I will make money, but Evolve the Spinoderm, yeah, that's worth nothing. I guess back in the day, that's kind of what where the value was, is you would get the uncommons that were worth like $3 to $5. And then if you bought play sets of that, hey Adam, what's up? If you bought play sets of those or sold play sets of those, you'd be able to make some money from that. But nowadays, I don't even think you can sell play sets to make money. Oh, this is the first land of the box. My last box I opened, it was like tons of. Oh yeah, that's not worth money. It looks cool though. These look great. They're not worth anything, unfortunately. I do have, I think, a full playset of lands. This Koth token? Are any of the Planeswalker tokens worth money? I'm not even sure. The emblems, not tokens. Sometimes the emblems are worth money. Koth, probably not. All right, last stack of the box. Not really a ton of value here, but like I said, if I just pull in a Trax, I'll be pretty happy. There's only been 1, 2, 3, 4 mythics, 5 mythics. 5 mythics so far, which, you know, from a draft box, probably not too terrible. 4, right? Malira the Living Core. The Hollow Sentinel. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's a cool looking token. Is that Karn? Kind of looks like Karn. It's not. I don't even know what makes a Hollow Sentinel. Realized I started the stream and never even introduced myself. I'm Matt, by the way, in case there's new viewers. Matt from Pure MTG. We've got Matt, we've got Pat, and we've got Bob. The Filigree Silex. Damages will go up longer after the packs are gone. Yeah, when they're more difficult. One of those things where you just kind of keep in your token bin, and then maybe one day they go up in value. Hey, Elish Norn of the Machines. We got the mom. Well, that's pretty cool. Not foily or anything, but that's probably for the best. So Elish Norn is 32 in the normal flavor. So that helps the wallet a little bit. I would still rather have an Atraxa, but and then we also got a Seed Core. I don't even know what this is. Oh, Phyrexian spells. Got it. Huh, that's not terrible. So land, probably not worth anything. Token. So that's a good hit. Got the mom. Now, really what would make my... Like I said, I want to pull an Atraxa. I do have... I don't know if you can see behind me over there. I do have a... Well, it's kind of peeking. How do I... Right there. I have a complete bundle that I initially had planned. I bought two. I planned to open one and then keep the other one for later use. But I don't. Hey, look, the Mind Splice apparatus. We got it. I don't know if I plan to open that box or not. Got set boosters in it, which I do like. I like set boosters best because I like the fancy cards. But my last complete bundle had Ichor Moon Gauntlet and some other bad card. Pulling an Atraxa from that would be like getting the oil slick raised would be fantastic. I would be quite happy. The Monument Facade. Alright. Alright, everybody, will Atraxa into my hand. Will it? I want to build her. And I can always just print her out as a proxy or whatever, but I'd rather have the card. For Commander, I kind of like having the actual full card. Geth, Thane of Contracts. Nothing there. But at the moment, we're looking at 1832 is 50, then 60, 78, 83, 88. I mean it's about $100 worth of value right now. If my quick math was correct. It's not bad considering. Still about 7 packs left. 12, the Defector Might. This is a good one. I don't know how much this version's worth. If it's worth more or less, but I think it looks sick. Pretty cool looking. And that one's definitely a hit. And these lands, I don't think they're worth money, but they look good. I definitely can never complain about lands. Ichor Scrub, is that what it's called? Ichor? Is it the Ichor flavor? Scrub itself, the normal one is worth 5, but I don't see... Is it worth like significantly less? Or maybe this one doesn't have all the versions on it? Yeah, this one might not have... Oh, it has the Phyrexian text on it. Can I just type in Scroll? S-A-R. No, it doesn't have all the versions on it. Huh. That's annoying. We can just say, we can assume it's around $5. Sometimes the extra versions are not worth a ton of money, but... Children's Effect and Kaya, Intangible Slave. In the Ichor variety, Ichor flavor, Kaya. Probably not worth anything. I don't even see it at all. That's worth less. Well, that doesn't make any sense. It's worth 50 cents. That's how many cents it makes. 50 cents. So not quite. It's not hexproof on it. That's kind of nice. It is a lot of mana for a pretty lame +2. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Its effects aren't great for the amount of mana it costs. The top token is Phyrexian Might with the cat double. Huh, just over $4. That's not bad. Chrome Coast. That's 2 land. This one? Nope. That's the Phyrexian Might, but it's probably a collector box with the cat in the back. Yeah, that one's 11. So my guess is it's you could probably only get those from collector boxes. Uncle Grand Mechatech. This creature becomes tech, draw a card, then ditch a card. That's pretty good. I think he's pretty solid, but not really worth anything. Alright, 2 packs remaining. Atraxa! Kaido, Dancing Shadow. Kaido is probably worth a couple dollars, right? I don't remember him being too bad. He appears to be worth nothing. Very cool. Kaido Dancing Shadow. And Phyrexian Beat. Oh no, I guess you can get the doubles. Electric tokens are foiled. Hey Richie, what's up, man? Last pack of the box here. Burns Wellspring. So nothing amazing in the close. But, I mean, like I said, I mean, this is like, we'll say this is 10 bucks. This is 32. This says 42. Plus another 10 bucks is 52. Plus 8 is 60, 70. Plus another 10 is 80. So about 80 bucks, and I paid 88 for the box. So if you nickel-dimed everything and sold maybe the rest of the stuff somehow, might be able to make extra money. But like I said, I did it for just for opening. I really wanted a Traxa. Unfortunate that I didn't get an Traxa. So did get Elish Norn though. Elish Norn, you got a Jace, Drivnod, Sword of Forge of Frontier, Staff of Completion ×2. If any duplication, I would have loved ×2 Elish Norn. And then a Skrull Deflector Might in the Icar version and the other non-Icar version. So not terrible. I think it was better, slightly better than the first box. The first box had a ton of lands, and I don't know if the lands they're probably worth a little bit, but a Seachrome Coast, and then one of the favorite versions of these lands that I like are these. These I have like a bunch. I think I have one of each other version, maybe even in foil as well, from the last box that I opened, and I think I have one more draft box, and then I have a collector bundle, or the complete bundle. So that we'll do the box opening for today, and then what I want to do is I want to look at the spoilers for Aftermath. I know that a lot of it got spoiled from one of the videos, or a couple of the videos where the guy got sent, or he was able to purchase the boxes that got taken away from the Pinkerton, I think it was, security. I don't know if you guys heard of that. I'm sure you probably have. Definitely an interesting story, but I mean, I guess it makes sense. But I feel like the damage was already done, so going and getting rid of the cards doesn't really make a ton of sense. It's not like he did anything necessarily wrong, maybe. But let's get rid of the camera for. Let's get rid of this. Then let's go to. Let's see here. I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm going to put this here. Respond to my buddy in Discord real quick. Complaining about Honkai Star Rail because of the most recent or the fourth boss is kind of a dick. Svarog. You guys play? It's a pretty good game actually. I'm still free to play. I gave them $5. I guess you can't really say I'm fully free to play, but all right. So let me pull up the site here for the spoilers, and then I'll share the screen. So give me 2 seconds here. The Martial Machine Aftermath spoilers, boom. Yeah, these are all from the videos, so I guess this is gonna be the best spoilers we can get. So window capture properties. Boom. There. Lab. I'm not an ultra wide, so it kinda. I zoom in. Ooh. Bear with me. There we go. And then where's the best spot for me? Will put me probably over here? Sure. That basically gets all of them away. So these are the aftermath spoilers that were spoiled. If you're not familiar, there was a guy that got these boxes from his friend. I don't know exactly how he got them. He got March of the Machine Aftermath, an entire collector's section, like a case or something. Maybe he got more than a case. I don't know how many he had. But basically, he opened them on the stream and was just like putting them out on YouTube. Obviously, Wizard of the Coast got angry, and they sent Pinkerton security over to his house, and they were like, hey, we need to collect all of the cards that you opened, and we need you to take the videos down. And I don't think he got fined or anything, and he might not have gotten, I don't know the details past that. I just know that I was able to look at all the cards that we were able to leak. It looks like a small set, because a lot of these cards were duplicate as he was like pulling them. Hey Greg, what's up, dude? Welcome. We're just going to go over some spoilers from March of the Machines, The Aftermath. I've already looked at some of these, but I have to imagine there were more, because I think I only watched like the first or the second video. If I'm not mistaken, these videos were taken down. I didn't see anything that was like too crazy, but some of them were pretty good. So let's just go through the cards. If I see like 6 mana, I automatically kind of just like whatever as a legendary creature. Affinity for equipment is nice though, but my commander criteria, and these are all going to be in the theme of commander, or all of my feedback is in for commander, not necessarily competitive commander, but for like mostly high powered decks. I'm just going to be like, this is kind of shit or this is good. For instance, I think that's Nahiri and Nahiri. Is there like a? It's kind of cut off, but it looks like, oh, it's Nahiri Forged in Fury. They're down at the bottom. Fancy. Affinity for equipment is kind of cool. So this is more one of those Tron style decks where you're looking to get a bunch of equipment out. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, exile the card of your library. You may play that card this turn. You can cast it without paying their mana cost if it's equipment. So, I don't know. Even for 6 mana, I mean, even if you chuck a bunch of equipment out, then it could become cheaper. 5/4 is not bad. If it had haste, that'd be nice. So, not an amazing thing. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. A lot of what I do is proxied. I don't know why I open boxes. I guess I enjoy opening boxes, even though it's like almost guaranteed losing money. Like 90% of the time you're gonna lose money or break even. So I think I just open it because it's got that like maybe like gambler that I don't know, like hoping to hit the big thing. Like it's just fun opening packs of cards, and I've always liked doing that. Even though nowadays, like I would say, almost all of my commander decks are proxied. I use a website called Make Playing Cards, and they do fantastic work. You can go through and do all kinds of amazing different art selections, and they can have them print whatever you want. They won't print the back of the card as the real Magic cards, so you know that you're not trying to like they're not trying to like replace the printing of Magic, and there's no way to to my knowledge they actually declined my one buddy because the back of the card looked too similar to the real Magic back. So they go out of their way and they check things to make sure that they're not actually printing the real card, but the feel of the card is very close. I think that most people would know, but when it's sleeved up, like if you're worried about like people like not letting you play with them because you're playing with proxies or whatever, as long as you use the normal art, they wouldn't even know while in a sleeve and whatnot, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so most of the decks that I build are proxied from Make Playing Cards, or I even just to print them out on a piece of paper and just put it on, slip it in a deck. That's what, like, I mean, most of my decks are like that. Just because I build a lot of decks every month, and quite frankly, this hobby would be thousands of dollars every few months just in buying new cards and building decks. I'd either have to do that or take apart decks, and I really don't like taking apart decks unless I hate the deck. There are times where I'll build a deck and take it apart because it's crap, or I don't like it, and I don't like the play style. It might be great, but it's just kind of boring. Like if it's like one of those really combo CADH style decks where it's just a bunch of tutors and has like one line of combo, and if it's really consistent, it's good, but it's not really like fun, especially for friends and whatnot. So, all right. So Tazri, Stalwart Survivor. This looks like one of those Wooburg commanders. 3 mana for a 3/3 is not bad. Each creature you control has add 1 mana of any color, any of this creature's color. Okay. Spend this mana only to activate an ability of a creature. Activate only if this creature has another activated ability. Interesting. So you have to play things with activated abilities. Mill 5 cards. Put all creature cards with activated abilities that aren't mana abilities from among them milled into your hand. You're paying 5 mana, tapping this to hopefully draw some cards. So you're playing a bunch of things with activated abilities. It can be in all 5 colors. That's good. It's cheap. 3 mana for a 3/3 is not bad. It gives you mana dorks, but they can only be used to activate abilities. There's probably combos with this. Basically anything and untap all your creatures. If there's like I don't know if a creature has an ability that does that. I know that like Penman's Aura, you're using the aura to untap a creature. So I don't know if it gives the creature that ability. I don't think so. So you wouldn't be able to use that mana for this. But if you have enough mana on mana dorks, I mean, you already have unlimited mana anyway. So this is kind of one of those things where if you have the ability to untap and you have unlimited mana, this allows you to play your whole deck. So I could see this being strong, which is interesting. So, yeah, pretty decent. Obnicholas, Captive Kingpin, 4 mana for a 4/3 Flying Trampler. That's already pretty decent. Whenever one or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life, put 1 counter on Obnicholas. Exile the top card of your library until your next end step. You may play that card. That's not bad. I mean, pinging for 1 damage is not hard at all. That's yeah, that's pretty solid. I don't think it's like super degenerate, but it's solid. It's kind of drawing cards, but then you have to worry about having the max hand size. You could play lands from it since it says you may play that card. It doesn't get, it's not free, but it's not terrible. I can see that being decent. Now here is Resolve. Creatures you control get +1/0 and have haste as an enchantment. 5 mana. That's already pretty expensive. Beginning of your end step, exile any number of non-token artifact and or creatures you control. Return those to the battlefield. So it's a flicker. So it's a Conjurer's Closet. Non-token artifacts. Only artifacts though. Oh, and or creatures you control. So yeah, that's pretty solid. White red though, huh? Most flicker decks are white, blue, and green. Decent. I can see that seeing play. And he gives haste. That's also pretty good. And I think Conjurer's Closet is also 5 mana. And isn't Conjurer's Closet also only 1 thing? At the beginning of your end step, you may exile target creature you control, then return that card onto the battlefield. So yeah, it's a better Conjurer's Closet. Because you can return, it says any number, right? Exile any number of. Yeah, this thing's pretty great. I like Nahiri's Resolve. Is that a reprint or are these any of these reprints? Nahir. No, it's not a reprint. I don't know if this set is any reprints at all. I know it's a small set. But yeah, that's not bad at all. Tyvar the Bellicose. 4 mana for a 5/4. Whenever one or more elves you control attack, they gain Death Touch. That's pretty good. Each creature you control whenever a mana ability of this creature resolves, you put a 1/1 counter on it equal to the number of mana that it produced. And can only trigger once each turn. That's not great. I don't know. I wouldn't play that. Sigarda Font of Blessings, 4 mana for 4/4. Flying, other permanents you control have hexproof. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast angel spells and human spells from the top of your library. That's pretty good. So lots of protection on every other permanent you control, not just on creatures. It's a flying 4/4 for 4 already. Permanent hexproof. Yeah, I mean that's a lot. This is pretty great. Great for an angel deck. Great for a humans deck. Yeah, I could see this seeing lots of play. It's right on the cusp of like the amount of mana I like to spend on commanders. 4 mana. I really don't like that spending any more than 4. 5 is like kind of like my top. I mean, I do play command. They have to be super good if they're higher mana cost than that. Just because like the tax just gets brutal. It just feels bad, like playing a card and then like watching it like die from something or get exiled or counterspelled or whatever it is. And when the commander's like 5 or 6, 7, 8, and then like the next time you cast it's 10. Like I don't know, just doesn't feel. Feels like all you're doing is tapping all your mana for your commander over and over again, not progressing at all, and you're kind of just time walking yourself, which feels bad. So 4's good, five's all right, and then 6 is it better be damn good, and higher of course. Karn, Legacy Reforged, 5 mana for a star. Power toughness equal to the number of artifacts you control. Makes sense. Beginning your upkeep, add colorless mana for each artifact you control. This mana can't be cast across non-artifact spells. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. I can see this guy being a really, really, really good artifact, colorless, or actually, it doesn't even have to be artifact. I mean, artifact-centric, but colorless commander. I mean, that's a lot of mana that you can get every turn for free. I don't know if you can do. I mean, it can only be spent to cast non-artifact spells, so you can't activate abilities with it, which kind of suck. That would be really, really good. So I think that this is. I don't know. I've never played a colorless deck. Maybe that's the kind of next deck I'll build. Maybe I'll build some kind of colorless thing. That'd be kind of fun. From what I remember, looking into it a little bit, the colorless stuff was just super expensive. So I don't know. So decent. I don't know how amazing it is. I know that the colorless commanders. I really don't know who would be. I haven't looked into it. I don't know. This looks decent though. 5 mana. It's right on the cusp of being too much, but because it's an artifact, and I think that if you're playing a colorless deck, you'll have no problem getting mana with the Tron lands and all the artifact rocks. Yeah, I could see this being pretty solid. Kolaghan's. I would actually. If it would be better if it was. Colorless spells instead of non-artifact. If you could just cast colorless spells with it, that'd be really good. But you know, Kelpie Guy blue uncommon from Strixhaven has tap to untap creature. Oh yeah, there are plenty of creatures that do untap as well, tap or untap as an activated ability. So yeah, I can see it. You could like I said, with it being 5 color, there's so many different. What was it? Kiora's follower, I think, is one. Kiora's something. Kiora's lieutenant or Kiora's, I don't know. Kiora something. I'm pretty sure it was another one. It was a blue-green that also has untapped target permanent you control. So that could be pretty good. Untapping all of your creatures would be more ideal. Something like a, what's it called? If you could, Isochron Scepter, Dramatic Reversal. Or something along those lines. That'd be pretty good too. Because you have access to all 5 colors, I mean, it's pretty easy to do. Alright, Kolaghan Warmonger. 3 mana for a 3/2 haste. Whenever he attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a dragon card from among them, put it into your hand. It's alright. I mean, for a dragon deck, maybe. But it has to swing. You have to be playing dragons. It isn't a dragon. Not really much synergy there, but you do get a dragon. Probably not going to see much play there. Drannith Runes, taps for colorless, or you can pay 2 colorless to put 2 1 counters on target non-human creature enter the battlefield this turn. It's just, what is that? Orion Vastwood? There was a green land that did something like this, but it was like all of your creatures that enter the battlefield this turn. This is just like a shittier version of that. Probably cheaper, because that's only 2 mana. 2 colorless. Calyx, Guided by Fate, 3 mana for a 2/2. I like the cost. It's an enchantment. I like that. Enchantment creature, legendary, human druid. Constellation. I like Constellation. Whenever Calyx, Guided by Fate, or another enchantment enters the battlefield, under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Okay. On target creature, not target creature you control. But for some reason you wanted to put counters, 1/1 counters and stuff. Maybe if you're playing Commander Raids. If you guys aren't familiar with what Commander Raids is, it's quite amazing. I can provide a link. It's a format that me and the boys are making. I just said the boys and I. It's really fun. Player versus environment. So you're playing versus a monster, and it's a cooperative commander experience. Pretty fun. So this would allow you to pump your opponent or your allies' creatures as well. All right. So whenever Calyx or an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. Do this only once each turn. I would say it'd be good for the 99, but not as a commander. There's just better commanders. I can't remember the name of the one commander that I used for my enchantment deck, but it was white-green, and she was busted. It's basically just Enchantress on a stick. You just get every time you played enchantment, you just drew a card. I think you gained a life as well. Pretty strong. Spark Rupture, enchantment, 3 mana. When Spark Rupture enters the battlefield, draw a card. Each Planeswalker with one or more loyalty counters on it loses all abilities and is a creature with power and toughness equal to the number of loyalty on it. Each Planeswalker becomes a creature and loses all abilities. Forever? Wow, that's just a global effect. It just disables all Planeswalkers. That's kind of a salty card for Planeswalker decks. I mean, it doesn't kill them. It just makes them creatures. I mean, I guess you could play this, draw the card from it, which is pretty decent already. It replaces itself. Fantastic. And then you could board wipe, and then you get rid of all the creatures and all the Planeswalkers. That's pretty strong. Huh. Yeah, that's pretty good. Black Sun Zenith plus Spark Rupture. Pretty good. Any board wipe, really. Yeah, I guarantee that'll see play. Guarantee it. There's enough Planeswalkers that you don't want around, and that I can see that being useful. And at the very least, like I said, you draw a card as well. Yeah, Radiant Performer is great. I love Radiant Performer. I played it in a steal everything. It wasn't really designed to steal everything, but it was what combo. I think it was he used Radiant Performer and Confiscate, I think, if I remember correctly. So you confiscate something and then you Radiant Performer to like just take control of everything. It's like it's 11 mana, you know, Hail Mary, but if you ever get it off, you basically just win the game because you just take control of every permanent. It's pretty strong. Gold Forged Thopterix, 2 mana for a 1/3, and Azorius, of course. Artifact creature Dinosaur Thopter, flying lifelink. Each legendary permanent you control has Ward 2. That's pretty good in the colors and everything. Cheaply costed, 1/3 flying lifelinker, and it protects your legendary permanents. Yeah, I can see that being in the 99, especially with white blue. Narset Enlightened Exile. So it's white, red, blue, colorless, 3/4 creature you control have prowess. Prowess is pretty strong. Pretty sure it's whenever you play an instant or sorcery spell, they get 1/1 until end of turn, if I remember correctly. Whenever Narset Enlightened Exile attacks, exile target non-creature, non-land card with mana value less than her power from a graveyard and copy it. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. I mean, the other Narset's stronger because she can just have infinite turns. So this one's just kind of a weaker Narset? A weaker... Yeah, not amazing. I mean, the prowess thing could be a different angle if you're just kind of go beat down instead of like unlimited turns. But unlimited turns is like almost guaranteed to win. Beat down, not quite. Maybe. Could be really strong. But her ability is kind of whatever. Cosmic Rebirth, 1 colorless green white instant. Choose target permanent card in your graveyard. If it has mana value of 3 or less, you may put it onto the battlefield. If you don't, put it into your hand. Or if you don't put it on the battlefield, put it into your hand, and then you gain 3 life. So it's an instant reanimator for permanents with 3 or less, or it's a Noxious Revival. That's not terrible. The colors are nice. I mean, yeah, that could be pretty good. It's cheap enough and instant speed. I like that it's instant. Yeah. I can see that being quite strong. Arnie Metalbrow, 3 mana for a 3/3. Whenever a creature you control attacks or a creature enters the battlefield on your control attacking, you may pay 1 red, 1 colorless. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value less than that creature's mana value from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Legendary creature, so you can have it as your commander. It's not terrible. It's cheap enough to where maybe it could be worth it. Value from that creature's mana value. Okay, I mean, sure, you can definitely get cheating some big stuff with that. Doesn't really excite me that much. Rebuild the City, 3 mana and then a red green. So it's Jund, red green black. Choose target land. Create 3 tokens that are copies of it, except they are 3/3 creatures in addition to their other types, and they have vigilance and menace. It's 6 mana, which is pretty crazy, but if you create 3 copies of land, they aren't untapped, or they aren't tapped, but they will have. If you don't have haste, they have summoning stick just because they're creatures. But they do have vigilance and menace, and they're 3/3s, and you're creating 3 copies of any land. So if it's non-legendary, and you have haste, then the spell becomes significantly cheaper. Especially if you have, well, I guess you couldn't do Gaia's Cradle. Gaia's Cradle is legendary, right? Has to be. Legendary. Okay, so yeah, you couldn't copy Gaia's Cradle unless you had something that ignored the legendary rule. Either way, I can see Rebuild the City being quite strong. Plarg in the Siri, 5 mana for 5/4, legendary Orc Efreet. I remember this card. This card was pretty nutty. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. Notably, they stay exiled. An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way, and you may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. That's pretty good. So basically, you choose an opponent. They get to pick 2 of them that you can't cast, and you can cast up 2 spells. You know, actually no. Wait. An opponent chooses a non-land card. So of all the cards that get exiled, they can choose one that you don't cast, and you can cast 2 of them that you want for free at the beginning of every upkeep, every one of your upkeeps. That's pretty strong. I dig this card a lot. I think that'll see a lot of play. Maybe not as a commander. Probably as a commander. I don't know. It's pretty strong. Mono red. You could do some good stuff with that. Vesuvian Drifter. 3 mana for a 2/4 flyer. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. Yep. At the beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, it becomes a copy of that card until end of turn and has flying. It's okay. I mean, you could do some things. You can manipulate the top of your deck and create some really good stuff. But it won't have any Enter the Battlefield abilities. So it's just got to be like a really strong creature that just does something on attack or does something on hit. Which, you know, I mean, you can Blightsteel Colossus, and it's a flying Blightsteel Colossus or whatever, and you can kill somebody. So yeah, you can do some degenerate stuff, I'm sure. Not a legendary, so it can't be your commander, so it'll just be in the 99. So, probably not going to see much play. I mean, maybe it will. I think there are copy decks like this. There are styles of deck like this that they'll probably use, so I can see it being pretty strong. All right, Kara, Sovereign of the Deep, 5 mana for a 4/5 Vigilance Ward 3. Whenever you cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent spell from your hand, look at the top X card of your library where X is the spell's mana value, which typically those spells are quite large, the variety of spells. You may cast a spell with mana value less than X from among them without paying their mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom in the library in a random order. That's pretty good. I like that. That's quite strong. 4/5 for 5 mana, Vigilance and Ward 3. So it has protection. Ward 3 is pretty decent. And then you just have to be playing Krakens, Leviathans, Octopus, or Serpent spells from your hand. So, yeah, I can see this being quite playable. Markov Baron. He's a 3 mana 2/2 Convoker, lifelink. Other vampires have 1/1 and Madness 3. It is kind of like a filler card. Tranquil Frillback, 3 mana for a 3/3. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may pay green up to 3 times. When you do, pay this cost. Choose any number. Choose that many. Okay, so every time you pay green, you get to choose something, and you can do it up to 3 times. So you can destroy 3 artifacts or enchantments for 6. You can exile all of your opponent's graveyards for 6, or gain 12 life. It's flexible, which I kind of like. If you got the open mana, you can do one of each. You can, I mean, it's got a lot of stuff. If it had flash, it would be pretty crazy. Like maybe if, I don't know, I don't think, can green creatures alone have flash? I'm not even sure. How many green creatures have flash? But yeah, if this had flash, if it was green-blue, obviously, then it definitely could have flash. This would be pretty damn good. Otherwise, you're spending a lot of mana to... I mean, I like cards like this because it's flexible and it allows you to like play less. Like you play less, you could replace Naturalize with this kind of. Because it's not instant, it makes it less flexible. But if this was like a flash creature, this would be awesome. Reckless Handling, 2 mana. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Or then discard a random. Yeah, you should discard a random. So it's gambled for artifacts. If an artifact card was discarded this way, it deals 2 damage each opponent. If this was instant, it'd be good. Otherwise, it's just kind of... I don't like the random discard. I mean, granted, in red, it's not... Like, red-white is typically good for reanimating artifacts. So you could, like, not really care as long as you discard 1 artifact into the graveyard. You're dealing 2 damage each player or each opponent. And then you can reanimate it. So in, like, an Osgir deck, this would be pretty decent. I wouldn't mind If you discard it, it's fine. You just make 2 copies of it with Osgear. So, it probably has a use. I don't think it's insane. Instant would make it a ton better. Pila Nalar, Console of Revival, red, white, 2/3. Thopters you control have haste, legendary of course. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, you get a Thopter. It's okay, kind of boring. Leyline Immersion, 4 mana, so 3 and 1 green. Enchantment, enchant legendary creature. Enchanted creature has ward 2 and add 5 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast spells. I think this is nutty. I think this is wild. I think it's very strong. Typically when you're playing like mana rocks and like mana ramping, you want to get at least half your mana put in, or else it's not really that good. So like for Sol Ring, you pay 1, you get 2. That's crazy. But for like I don't know, Basalt Monolith, like what is it? You pay 5, or no, you pay 3 and it taps for 3, but then you can't untap it. So like that'd be really, really good. What is it? What is a good one? Not Sol Ring, but it's the one that it's 4 mana and you get 2. Stuff you want to get, for me at least, that's my kind of goal, is you get more than half, or half or more, and this gets one more than what you spent. So you're actually gaining tons of mana. You're almost doubling your mana. There is a stipulation, of course, that it has to be on a legendary creature, and that creature has to survive. But it does kind of protect that creature, and you can only cast it for spells, so you can't activate abilities with it. But all spells are game, so I think this is a pretty solid card. Training Ground, that's definitely a reprint, but it is a cool-looking Training Ground. There's a couple of them that are really nice varieties, and I like the new foil etching that they did. It's like more brighter and less muddled, and a little bit more foily, so I like the way that they changed that. So Training Ground, just activate abilities of creature control, cost 2 less to activate. It can't reduce it to less than 1, but it still does, like for 1 blue, it's pretty wild. It does a lot of work in a lot of decks. Definitely very strong. Tolarian Contempt, 5 mana, enchantment, 2 blue, and 3 colorless. When Tolarian Contempt enters the battlefield, you may put a rejection counter on each creature your opponents control. At the beginning of your end step, for each opponent, choose up to 1 target creature they control with a rejection counter on it, and then it returns it to their hand. That could be really annoying, especially in a Flicker deck, where you can just keep putting rejection counters on all the stuff that they keep playing, and then bouncing whatever the hell you want at your end step. Now, granted, it does have to survive on the battlefield. You could pay 5 mana, and then it just gets removed, and you did nothing. But there is still rejection counters on it, so if you reanimate, it's still, you can still do the thing. I don't know. It's a little annoying because you have to keep track of it. It's one of those things where, like, the slime counters, or like the slime counters from Toxrill, they mean nothing unless Toxrill's on the battlefield. So it's a little annoying to keep track of. Because it doesn't do anything unless Toxrill's there. So then otherwise, you still have to keep track of it. It's not like a 1/1 counter or anything, so it's really annoying. So this is just another counter you got to keep track of. Samut, Vizier of Tamun. 3 mana, 2 red. A colorless, a red, and a green. 2/3. First strike, Vig, haste. That's a nice slew of keywords. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, if that creature enters the battlefield this turn, draw a card. It's not limited to how many creatures, so that's decent. And it works off itself, which is decent. But kind of boring. Just draws cards. Meh. Death Rattle Oni. 7 mana for a 5/4 flash. It costs 2 less for each creature that died this turn. When it enters the battlefield, destroy all other creatures that were dealt damage this turn. Not great. It does have flash, which is nice, and it could be cheaper, but Undercity Upheaval, 3 mana, Undergrowth, distribute X 1/1 counters amongst any number of target creatures you control, or X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard as you cast a spell. Creature control gain vigilance until end of turn. I actually think this could be pretty strong, especially in green. If you played like a green-black self-mill deck, you could definitely, just for 3 mana, get a ton of 1/1 counters. They gain vigilance. I can see this being quite good, and plus there's tons of black-green cards that like 1/1 counters. If you're playing something like Hardened Scales, every 1/1 counter would get doubled, which is pretty crazy. Same thing with Vorinclex. I'm pretty sure that's the way that works when you distribute. I think that it would just double the number of counters you distribute. That's pretty strong there. I mean, there's plenty of things like that. And yeah, I think it's pretty solid. Ayara's Oathsworn, black and a colorless 2/2 menace. When it deals combat damage to a player, if it has fewer than 4 counters, it gets a counter. Then if it has exactly 4 counters on it, search your library for a card put in your hand. So you get the Demonic Tutor after you get 4 1/1 counters on it. Has Menace, which is fine. Maybe in Standard it's good? I don't know. Not in Commander. Not terrible, but... Deification, colorless and a white enchantment. As enter the battlefield, choose a Planeswalker type. Planeswalkers you control of the chosen type have hexproof. Just in case you guys aren't aware or aren't familiar with what a Planeswalker type is, that's like Jace. Jace is a Planeswalker type. So you can choose Jace, and all Jaces you have hexproof. As long as you control a creature, if damage dealt to a Planeswalker you control of the chosen type would result in all loyalty counters on it being removed. Instead, all but 1 are removed. If it protected all your Planeswalkers, then it'd be good. It'd be really good for 2 mana. But choosing a Planeswalker type, so it doesn't really good. It's not really suitable for Super Friends. It's really suitable for only like very niche things. So I don't know. It doesn't really excite me that much. Jirina, Dauntless General, a white-black for a 2/2 legendary creature. When it enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. That's decent. And then sacrifice humans you control gain hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. That's not bad. A lot of different. That's very flexible. So protect yourself from board wipes, at least for humans. If you're playing, you play this in a human deck, tribal. That's not bad. Coppercoat Vanguard, 1 colorless, 1 white, 2/2 human soldier. Each other human you control gets 1/0, has ward 1. That's all right. Not bad. Danitha New Benalia's Light, 1 green, 1 white, 1 colorless, 2/2 Vidge Trample Lifelink, a legendary creature. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an aura spell from your graveyard, or equipment. That's not bad. I definitely would put that in any of the enchantment decks. Being able to cast auras, well, auras specifically, not enchantments. It's more for a Tron style deck. Still not bad though. I don't know about Commander good. I mean, 3 mana for a 2/2 Vidge Trample Lifelink. I mean, it's got keyword soup. When you start putting enchantments on or artifacts and enchantments on keyword soup, it gets better. Obviously, the Trample's nice, the Vidge is nice, and the Lifelink is good. So I don't know. It's decent. No haste, no protection. Very susceptible to being removed. Not great. Metropolis Reformer. 1 white and 2 colorless. Flying Vidge. 2/2 or 3. I'm not sure. Probably a 2/2. You have hexproof, and whenever Metropolis Reformer is dealt damage, you gain that much life. It's kind of got lifelink on it, but doesn't get it when you attack. Not great. Niv Mizzet Supreme. Wooburg. Flying hexproof from monocolored. 5/5. Each instant and sorcery in your graveyard that's exactly 2 colors has Jumpstart. I don't even remember what Jumpstart is. I remember what Retrace is. What is Jumpstart? I think it's something to do with your graveyard. Obviously, it has to be something to do with your graveyard. It allows you to be cast from your graveyard. Oh, you have to discard a card. So it allows the players to cast spells from their graveyard for an additional cost of discarding a card. Any card. Okay, so it's not like Retrace is for lands, so I guess so Jumpstart is just for both, for any card. 2 colors. There's plenty of 2-color spells. I'm in it for 5/5 flying hexproof for monocolored. Not terrible. What do we get here? Urborg Scavengers. 2/2, when it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile target card from a graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on Urborg Scavengers. And then it has flying as long as exiled card with it has flying. The same is true for all the other keywords. I mean, it's a way to get rid of... It's a way to get rid of stuff from the graveyard. It's kind of like a Scavenging Ooze without a mana cost. And it's like not as... It can't be done at instant speed, so... Unless you like flicker it, which in black it's fairly difficult, unless you play multicolored, of course. It's not a terrible card. I kind of like it. You get a counter on it. Every time you do it, exile card from a graveyard. Yeah, I kind of like it. It could be fun. I don't know if it's insane, but it's good. Instant Blotout. 2 colorless, 1 black. Target opponent exiles a creature card or planeswalker they control with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Yeah. For 3 mana, though, I mean, It is exile, but they get to choose. Because if you're tied, they'd be able to get to choose between the highest. It's all right. Campus renovation. It is instant. If it was sorcery, it'd be terrible. I think it's still kind of meh. I'd rather just play swords or whatever. I mean, in black, you could just play like Doomblade. I don't know. It's not exile, but there's probably other spells, but stuff like that. Campus renovation. 3 colorless red white. Return up to 1 target artifact or enchantment from the graveyard to the battlefield. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, and you can play those spells or play those until the end of the next turn. If it was instant, it'd be good, but sorcery speed, that's a lot of mana to invest. Rocco Street Chef. 1 red, green, white, 2/4. At the beginning of your end step, each player exiles the top card of their library. Until your next end step, each player may play the card they exiled this way. Whenever a player casts a land, or plays a land, or plays an exile spell, you get a 1/1 counter and create a food token. I could. Well, hold on. Is it opponent? Each player. Whenever a player. I mean, this is actually a pretty good group hug deck. So they exile the top card until your next end step. Each player may play the card they exiled this way. You could play this in a group hug deck. Otherwise, I don't think it's good at all. I mean, you do get a 1/1 counter and you get food tokens, but I don't think that's worth it. Sarkhan, Soul of Flame. 1 colorless red blue. Dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast is a 2/4. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Sarkhan become a copy of it until end of turn, except for its name is that, and it's legendary. 3 mana for 2/4 and discounts dragons and becomes copies of dragons you play. And it can become... Its name is Sarkhan Soul of Flame, so it can become any legendary dragon as well. That's pretty strong for red blue. That's I mean, that's potentially commander strong. It's really cheap. It discounts your big dragons and becomes any of the cool dragons. It's until end of turn, so it could become any cool dragon whenever it wants. Yeah, I mean, I could see this being quite good. I like it. I'm a big fan. Open the Way. It's X and 2 green. X can't be greater than the number of players in the game. Okay, so it can be 4 is max most of the time. Reveal cards from the top of your library to reveal potentially up to 4 land cards. Put those lands onto the battlefield tapped and the rest in the bottom of your library. That's not bad. Any land. So you pay 6 mana, you get 4 land. And you reveal cards from the top, so you're guaranteed 4 land. I can see this being very strong. Green's going to have no problem getting mana. Animus Might. So all the landfall triggers and all that kind of stuff would be quite fantastic as well. Animus Might. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a legendary creature you control. It's a sorcery speed. Okay, 2 and 1 green. Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. So it's a fight. If it was instant, it'd be nutty. Because it's not, it's just fine. Unless you can cast sorceries as instant speed, but in green, so you'd have to be playing like blue-green. I don't hate it. If you're targeting a legendary creature, I mean, which pretty easily in Commander, you're going to play a lot of legendary things. And twice its power, and they don't fight, so you don't have to worry about the other creature fighting back. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty damn strong. 1 green to most likely kill something, especially in mono green. This is fighting is one of the ways to get rid of stuff. I like it at instant, but sorcery is still strong. Get rid of planeswalkers as well. That's pretty nice. Filter Out. This card, I feel like maybe I have to play with it. I saw this card when I first saw it. It feels nutty to me. Like, it feels overtuned. It's colorless and 2 blue. Instant. Return all non-creature, non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Like, if Cyclonic Rift wasn't already degenerate enough, you gave a way cheaper version. Like, come on. Like, this is going to be flashback with Snapcaster Mage and all that stuff. It gets rid of all tokens. Just yeah, it doesn't hit creatures, but there are, like, enchantments, planeswalkers. It's just a lot. There are artifacts. It's just brutal. This is brutal. This is nutty. This is way powerful. This is uncommon. This is wild. Probably one of the most busted cards that I've actually ever seen printed at such a low value, such a low cost. I mean, yes, it is yourself as well. It's not opponents. But the right deck can take advantage of this extremely well. And stuff, you may want to bounce your own stuff to get value. So yeah, it's nutty. I don't know. And definitely this card is going to be one of those uncommons that I feel like will be worth money, but we'll see. Nashimun's Legacy, black, green, blue. Legendary Rat Shaman, probably, if I had to take a guess, a 3-3 or a 3-4, maybe a 2-4. Menace, Ward 1. Whenever it attacks, exile one card, one target legendary or rat from your graveyard, copy it, and you may play the copy? Cast the copy? I don't know. Something with the copy. I don't know. You have to play rats or legendaries? Oh yeah, for sure. Open the way for sure. Very good. I think Filter Out is one of the most busted things. Nissa, Resurgent Animist. 2 colorless and a green. Legendary. 3-3 probably. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. Then, if this if this is the second time this ability has resolved, this turn, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an elf or an... I think it says Elf Warrior, if I remember correctly. Card. Or maybe an elf... Reveal an elf or something card. Elven? Elf Warrior. Elf something. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is definitely very good. For elves, it's basically a Lotus Cobra, and then as long as you have a fetch land, you're just going to always guaranteed the second ability, where you'll just go get elves from the top of your library, which is pretty strong. Yeah, I think Nissa's Resurgent is quite strong. Yeah, this is ATCG. Yeah, I opened the box of Phyrexia All Will Be One, and then I was done with that, so then I just decided to review the Aftermath spoilers. March of the Machine Aftermath. Last we have Feast of the Victorious Dead, or second to last. Feast of the Victorious Dead, a white-black enchantment at the beginning of your end step. If one or more creatures die this turn, you gain that much life and distribute that many 1/1 counters among creatures you control. That's pretty good for white-black. That's actually not bad at all. It is only at the beginning of your end step, but I mean, you have to have multiple creatures die each turn. I think this could be doable. There's probably combos where you like get 1/1 counters on stuff, and then you can remove 1/1 counters to like create creatures, and then sacrifice them to like get more 1/1 counters, and then trigger this a bunch. Yeah. Decent. It's cheap. I like cheap things. Cheap things that are strong that you can build around. I like that. Like when you invest a bunch of mana into or a bunch of resources into something, and then it like gets foiled, it just feels bad. So I like really, really cheap stuff. And then last is Harnessed Snubhorn. 3 colorless and 1 white. Vigilance, 2/5. Whenever Harnessed Snubhorn deals combat damage to a player, return target artifact or enchantment from the graveyard to the battlefield. So it's a cheaper Sun Titan that is only for artifacts or enchantments. And it has to deal damage and not on attack. That's pretty bad. That's it. So, I mean, this is a small set. I don't know if... so 139, 120... This definitely isn't all of them. 130. Definitely not all of the cards. 163. Maybe it's not as small a set as we thought. Either that or there's multiple versions of cards, so it's making it... Maybe there's like 50 or 60 cards. Now, it'd have to be like 100 cards to be like a decently small set. But I still think, honestly, Filter Out is nutty. You guys agree? Like, this thing's... I don't understand. This feels... It's one of those things where it's like, I don't think they understand. Like this, I don't know. This card's brutal. I hate counter spells, and I hate Cyclonic Rift. And this is just like super cheap on its own. And I get it that it's probably designed for CDH to like reset the board from very, very quick things from happening to kind of prevent the early game from being out of control and maybe slow the game down based on that. But man, Filter Out is really strong. Like I can just only imagine playing a bunch of like planeswalkers or artifacts, and then just like somebody just going, "Oh, Filter Out," and I'm like, "Oh, cool! I did all that for nothing." I don't know. It's super strong. That's like so much value for 2 blue and a colorless. I don't know. I think this is wild. But yeah, that's all of them that are unofficial. They say unofficial, but this is fully official unless those packs were rigged or whatnot. Um, I mean, they were clearly. I watched the video. They were fully open. They looked like the Aftermath box, and they were pulled from the Aftermath packs. So they say unofficial spoiler, unless they decide that maybe those boxes were like pre-printing, like those weren't like official boxes, which seem very unlikely. But yeah, honestly, of all the cards, my favorite, if I had to pick the top three, Sigarda, Font of Blessings is really strong. There's a lot of value there. I think Tazri could be fun to build around, but I'd have to like look into what you can really do with it. So this is not bad, but Sigarda for sure, definitely very strong. I've never built a colorless deck, so Karn seems fun, but I don't know if it's very good because you have to build all artifacts, and the mana can only be spent to do a non-artifact. I'd like it to be colorless. I feel like Narset's kind of bad. Rebuild the City, I think, could be really, really fun in the right deck. It is 6 mana, but if you have the ability to give your creatures haste, which red can do it easily with Anger in the graveyard, or there's plenty of enchantments that do it, these tokens that you make are 3/3 Vigilant Menace lands that also are copies of whatever land you do, which you could do some pretty brutal copies of lands. And they also can be, if they have haste, they can be tapped for mana. So you can do some pretty degenerate things with Rebuild the City. But it is 6 mana. Plarg into Nasiri is nuts. I actually think this card's wild. If this goes unanswered, it's very, very strong. Kyora's pretty cool, but I haven't really looked into like the Kraken Leviathan Octopus meta and Serpents. I don't know. Like, this seems strong, and it's in the colors that can make it strong, but it looks fun. Maybe not amazing, but fun. Leyline Immersion, I think, is wild. I'm disappointed with Niv Mizzet, but it's not terrible. I don't think it'll see much play. Sarkhan Soul of Flame is pretty wild. Open the Way is pretty wild. Filter Out's insane. Animus Smite is okay. It's pretty cheap. Like 1 green, you can do some pretty good damage with that. And it is the creature dealing the damage, so if it has like lifelink and stuff, like that's cool, that's nice. There's probably a good combo with this where you make something fight something and do some cool stuff. And then Nissa's Resurgence is pretty solid as well. So those are my favorite. Those are like top 5. But yeah, pretty cool. I don't know. It's a small set, which I wasn't aware that it was going to be small. But yeah, if it's only like 50 cards, multiple different versions. Definitely could be, I don't know, it's kind of a weird set. Is this standard set? Probably not. It's probably a supplemental set. Either way, I think it's alright. It's nothing amazing. But, I mean, aren't these expensive? How much are these on are there pre-orders going up for these? I don't want to dox myself, so I'm going to pull it up on a different screen for a second. March of the Machines... Aftermath. So we got booster boxes, 24 packs for 81 bucks. Collector's boxes for 194. That doesn't seem good. A bundle for 36. I don't know what the accessories are. What are the accessories? So you get a traditional foil art promo card, the booster, the lands, 20 foil, 20 non, which will be completely bent. Spin down, special core, rebuild the multiverse. None of these are... I'm not really seeing anything exceptionally crazy. 36 bucks. For being such a small set, it doesn't really... Not very exciting. Also, I hate the box. Like, this box it makes me think Marvel. Which, I don't have anything against Marvel, but it doesn't make me think Magic the Gathering. It makes me think of Marvel Universe. And it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look right. It looks weird. I think you only get 6 packs. Oh, 12 packs, but they only have like only 6 cards in them. Yeah, 6 cards. I think you get no commons. 4 cards of rarity, rare or higher in every pack. So I think you get 2 uncommons and 4 rares, all foil. But for $200, I think this plummets. I think this goes down real fast. Like, there's no way, right? Do we have any, we have no aftermath on TCG Player to see. I wasn't sure if there was going to be any pre-orders. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's no way this holds at 190. There's no way. There's nothing in the set that looks like it's worth money. Like Training Ground, but isn't that like the only reprint so far that I've seen? Which is also strange. Why is Training Grounds reprinted? But I don't think any of these other ones are reprinted, are they? I don't know. None of these cards look familiar, except for Training Ground. The rest of them look new. So there's only one reprint? That's weird. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know every card in the game, but none of these look familiar. Except for this Ayara, this has a weird border. That has like the what is it called? Midnight Hunt. Or the Fairy Tale border, kinda. Are they going back to draft for Aftermath bundles? Can you even draft this set? What cards are in these packs? 24 lore packed packs to witness the conclusion of the Aftermath storyline. 5 Magic Gathering. 5 wait, what? 5 cards per booster? Wait, what? You can't draft these. Oh, so it's their epilogue boosters. They're not draft. It's only 5 cards. Oh yeah, right there. 5 cards per pack. Huh. So there is no draft. So it's just a completely weird supplemental set you can do nothing but open with. Which is fine, I guess, but I don't know. Why? That's another thing. Is there really only one reprint so far that we know of? Training Grounds? I mean, Training Grounds is $25? 26? And quite frankly, I would sell mine immediately. The moment this comes out, those will plummet. I don't think I have any. Yeah, hold on a second. So what's in the bundles? What packs are in the bundles? Epilogue boosters. That's why they're so cheap, because there's only 5 cards per pack. Huh. I didn't even realize. So everything is just. So you get less. Like, why is it 24 packs then? It's 24 packs. So normally you get 36 in a draft booster. A draft booster would be about $100. 80. We'll say 80, 85, or we'll say $90 to $100 for a draft box. This is 81 for 12 less packs and tons less cards. And I get that there's going to be, you see, you get a guaranteed foil and showcase card in every pack. So maybe they're kind of set boosters. See, 1 to 3 cards of rarity, rare or higher, and 2 to 4 uncommon cards. So there are no commons. Huh. What rarity is Training Grounds? It's a rare? Oh yeah, I would sell them immediately. So on, is this all 50? 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16, 36, or no, sorry, 18, 48 cards? So this is basically all of them. This is it. This is the whole set, most likely. There might be a couple cards that weren't pulled. Maybe a few mythics or something. So why is there only one reprint? It's so confusing. Oh, there is only 48. Huh. Yeah, 120 cards. Yeah, and there's nothing like these cards are worth none of these cards look worth like big money. This mythic is horrible. Like I don't think it's gonna be worth. I don't say when I say horrible, I mean value wise. I don't mean like it's not worth any money. But this is a 50-cent mythic. This is a 50-cent mythic. This looks like a rare. This is probably a few dollars. A few dollars, few dollars. That's a mythic. Yeah, probably still a few dollars. I don't see Sigarda being worth tons of money. Maybe a few bucks. Karn, it is a mythic. I don't know. I don't know the colorless meta enough to see if people really give a shit about them or not. But I can't imagine it being worth more than 10 or 20. Maybe. Probably not. This is worth nothing. Dragon's Ruins, I can't imagine is going to be worth tons. Probably a few bucks. Maybe 50 cents. Calyx, again, probably maybe a few dollars. Spark Rupture's pretty good, but I don't know. Probably a few bucks. Narset's pretty bad value-wise. I don't know. I don't see people playing that a ton. None of these are really going to be worth a ton. Plarg might be worth $10. I think Plarg's nuts. It's definitely one of those cards. If you don't answer it, you get a ton of value from. So I think Plarg could be worth $10, maybe 15. Kiora could be worth 10, 15 bucks as a mythic. This is probably like probably the chase card in my opinion, at least so far. And then of course Training Grounds is worth 25, 26 bucks right now, but I have to imagine that goes under 20 once it gets fully released. Yeah, this is as a rare, and you're getting guaranteed rares every pack. And when I watched the openings, in his one box he pulled like 3. So even then you're $75 in a collector's box, and you're spending $200. You're never gonna make your money. There's no fucking way. It's impossible. You won't even make half of it. Nothing. Samut, nothing. This could be 50 cents. None of these are worth money. This is just, of course, my opinion and my guessing, but I feel like I've got a decent grasp on value. None of these are going to be worth money, like big money. None of those are going to be worth big money. Sarkhan could be good. I could see this being $20, $25, maybe 30. I feel like this card is probably the best of the set. Maybe the Chase. It's one of my favorite, at least. He's very cheap as a commander. 2/4, and it makes your dragons cheap, and it can copy dragons as they enter the battlefield. I think this is all, and it can copy legendaries, which is really, really cool. So he's got all kinds of good stuff. So this is definitely, in my opinion, the chase card, Sarkhan Solar Flame. Open could probably be a couple bucks. Animus might. I mean, I even think Filter Out could be probably $1 or $2 as an uncommon. Maybe because the boxes won't be opened a ton, and it could be one of those uncommons that are like super uncommon. This could be worth maybe $5 as an uncommon, which is going to be funny because it's going to be worth, in my opinion, more than most rares. Nissa could be $10, $15, $20. It's like a Lotus Cobra on crack for elves. 1 more mana. It's still not bad. I think it's a 3/3 if I remember correctly. That could be pretty strong. So there's a couple cards you can hit. I mean, you're getting how many in a collector pack? You're getting 12 packs, and you're getting 4 rare or higher in every pack. I mean, the problem is, I don't know. I guess it just depends on how much it gets opened and what the demand for those cards are. It took 3 collectors to get at least 1 of each card, not including each other variant. Yeah. Yeah, I watched the box. Oh, I think I watched 1 of the box openings, maybe 2 of the Aftermath before they got taken down. Open the Way in blue, red, green in spell copy. Open the Way. That's the X one, right? Yeah, I like Open the Way a lot. The fact that it reveals cards. It's not a tutor for lands, but it reveals cards from the top until it hits lands. I like that because it can get some pretty good lands. I mean, I think it's quite good. It's definitely a good ramp. I think if you pay 6 mana and you get 4 lands, that's pretty solid because it's lands are the safest way to ramp. I could see this being like, you would definitely want to counter this if you have a counter spell. It's definitely that kind of strong power. I mean, you say, oh yeah, it's only 4 lands, but if they're playing like Valakut, I mean, that could be 4 Valakut triggers. It could be Field of the Dead triggers. You get different lands for Field of the Dead. You could get your Field of the Dead onto the battlefield. You could be playing, I mean, yeah, just all kinds of good value lands. Gaia's Cradle and stuff like that. They do come into battlefield tapped, but If you're playing like Amulet of Vigor, that could be just straight up untapped, right? Amulet of Vigor. Yeah, Amulet of Vigor, whenever a permanent enters the battlefield, tapped on your control, untap it. So if you have Amulet of Vigor on the battlefield with fucking Open the Way, it's just a really good ramp, especially if you copy it. Definitely very, very strong. So yeah, I could see this being very, very strong. Probably $5 to $10 if it gets traction. But still, if this is the entire set again, I mean, if it took 3 boxes to get the whole set, basically, 3 boxes, you're at $600. I don't see $600 if you got every single card here. I mean, maybe if you got every version of every card and the cards are in the value that I foresee them being, maybe, I don't know. If we're just looking at pure value. Now, there are good cards in here. I'm pretty happy. But it is strange that there's only 1 reprint. It's very, very strange. Why 1? I don't know. Yeah, I could see it if it's like a smaller print run, and I don't know. I think this might be a set that it's just better to get singles, which I mean probably every set is that way. I could see it being fun, like Sigarda. Actually, the art of Sigarda Font of Blessings looks really good. It's like kind of muddled in this picture, but I can actually see this being a really good looking card. And some of the I'm a big fan of variants. I know like a lot of people poo poo on the different variants and the showcases and the Ichor fucking raised, foiled, etched. I love them all. I mean I don't know. I'm a big proponent of just make the cool cards cool. Like quite frankly, I wish they would just get rid of the normal border. Just always have only the special variants. I'm a big fan of them. The normal borders just look boring. I don't know. I don't want to use any normal border card. I want to use the special cool versions of everything. Now, granted, I understand that like some people don't like any of the special variants, so it'd be a little rude to get rid of them. But some people are calling to get rid of all the variants, so I don't know. Fuck them. I don't know. I like the variants. I think the variants are cool. And the variants don't take away. They have their own special slot. They don't take away from any of the normal cards, except for like the Ichor ones from the Phyrexia will be one because they do replace the card. But when they have their own special slot, like the set boosters and whatnot, this looks really good too. Sarkhan Soul of Flame. I really like that border. I love the showcase and the variants. I'm happy. I don't care how many are reprinted. Quite frankly, as far as value is concerned, I don't mind when cards are cheap because then it allows more people to play. If you're one of the people that need the actual cards themselves, I'm proxy a lot of my stuff, so it's not that big a deal if a card's $100. I'll just proxy it. But when the cards are cheap enough, then I can just go buy the real cards and I don't have to worry about proxying. So I don't know. It does make it a little strange because like I want to open the cards because it's fun to open the packs of cards. It's fun to like share it with people, share it with friends. Draft. It's fun to draft. I do draft. Not a ton, but I do enjoy it. So I like the cards having value, but at the same time, I'd rather the boxes be cheaper. Like in Flesh and Blood, you can buy a box for like $60, and you get I think it's 24 packs. So like the value from them is that like most of the cards are worth lower, but you get more. You get like the same amount of cards and the potential same amount of fun. For less money. Like they're not like $200, $400. Like I don't know. Like the Lord of the Rings, dude. Holy, the Lord of the Rings is insane. MTG. Actually, can we just go to the actual? Here we go. So Lord of the Rings boosters are wild. How do I new releases? Oh, and these things too. The Commander Masters. Like I understand Masters products are gonna be expensive, but come on, like they just. I don't know. $500 for a set booster is just wild to me. Lord of the Rings is the same way. $420 for a collector box. At least the jump starts aren't terribly expensive. These special gift bundles, these here, they had like something special in them. They were like the complete bundles, or what was it? Complete gift bundles. So I'm guessing, yeah, it has the chance of having cereals in the collectors. Oh, so it is in the gift bundles. Maybe found in collector booster. So do you get a collector booster in this? Yeah, okay, you get one collector booster. That's why. Okay. So these were the reason why these are out of stock is because they had posted them for too cheap, and then like everybody bought them out, and now they're sold out, which unfortunate that I missed out on. Yeah, set booster for 208, a normal draft box for 189. I don't know. Just the prices are just to me, in my personal opinion, just overinflated. It's a little annoying, but it is what it is, I guess. I want to partake in the March or the Phyrexian March of the Machines. Yeah, the mom. How do I? Any deals right now? Can we find any deals? They only have one thing. Just some shitty commander deck. All right. New releases or would it be expansions? March of the Machines. Yeah, the collectors seem fun. 222. So 219. Yeah, these look really, really fun to open, this March of the Machines, but I kind of waited too long to decide if I wanted to get them. I could have bought them from, what was it, Rudy, Alpha Investments. I'm a patron of his, so I could have bought them when he had the deal for them, but I wasn't sure if I really wanted to. I think I was, like, very close to sending in an order, but I'd already ordered, like, 2 other things, so I was kind of like, you know, sometimes you gotta chill on your investments. I did get a thing of MetaZoo, which I thought was pretty cool. I'll probably do I don't know if I'm gonna open it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I wanted to check out MetaZoo, so I bought a thing of MetaZoo, and I was just like, you know, what's this all about? I guess. I did get a full playset of these March of the Machine. Matter of fact, can I do... I guess let's look into that. I'll do a last... Regular border still better than white border? True, I agree with that. Just be happy there isn't a Pauper Master. Pauper Masters all commons. That would be funny. I've actually thought about looking into Pauper. This seemed fun. But I actually did. I bought all of these commander decks. Because, oh wait, hold on. Why did this one skyrocket? Why is it 68? What's up with this one? They're normally all 36. Why is this one 68? Is it like just sold out? I bought one of these because I wanted the plane chase. Huh. Well, I got really good value from these then. 68. They were all like 36 if I remember correctly. They were like all dirt cheap. Let's do... What was it? MTG Goldfish? Does that show sets? What's the site that shows sets as they come out? Is it Echo? This? We can do promo pack, March of the Machines, Multiverse Legends. Obi-Wan Commander, but they don't. Oh, here it is, March of the Machine Commander. So what went up in price that made those decks worth money? There we go. Why won't it let me click this? The arrow changes, but nothing happens. Do I have to be logged in? I do have an account. All magic sets. March of the Machine Commander. You do have to be logged in. So tons of things went up in value, but they're all low dollar amounts. Okay, besides Slimefoot Squee. Wait, is that in the what is that? Where's that in? Is that one of the alternate commanders? Doesn't even match the colors. I'm confused. March of the Machine Commander. March of the Machine Commander. But it's trying to say that Slimefoot and Squee is a showcase in this set, but it doesn't matter. There's no Jund. There's no Jund. I don't know. Either way, something went up in value in this one. 68 bucks. Is there a way to see specifically Calvary Charge? It's the only one with Eminence? It's possible. Oh, that's true. You're right. It could be because of the collector's box or collector's packs that you get. You get one of the crappy. I got all of mine were crappy. I opened them. They are all bad. Every single card was horrible. So that could be it. But yeah, the planes themselves, I mean, they're a few bucks a piece, and you get 10 each one. So even if they're $1 a piece, that's an extra 10 bucks per one, and they were 36 bucks a piece. I don't know. I got them from Rudy. I think I got two sets of them for one. Let me check it out. I'll be able to check my PayPal real quick. I got two sets of them, one to open, one to keep closed. $319. Yeah, $319 for two. I did pretty good. Considering right now you'd have to spend, that's with tax and 10 shipping. So this is $174 for the bundle, so it'd be $344 plus tax and free shipping. It's funny because I have one purchased here and this still hasn't arrived. It's supposed to be arriving in a couple days, and I'm going to return this one most likely. I guess at this point, how much? I mean, let me check something here. I don't want to dox myself. I'll check how much I pro-ordered it here in a second. I spent $178, so I spent $192. There's a whole fiasco with that, by the way. I pre-ordered it, and I was going to cancel it because I saw that the price was not really amazing, so I was going to cancel it. But they charged my card the day that I pre-ordered it on, which you're not supposed to do. This was on the 4th of April, or 5th of April. They charged it on the 6th. I saw the charge. I tried to cancel it. They told me that, no, you cannot cancel it because you have to wait until... They said it's already shipped because they had a tracking label. And I said, well, it couldn't have shipped on April 5th because it doesn't come out until April 21st. So there's no way you shipped it already. Because even the delivery day said expected May 2nd to the May 4th. And I'm like, there's no possible way you could have shipped it because you're not even allowed to ship it yet. And they're like, well, it's shipped, so we can't cancel it. So I went back and forth with them. I went back and forth with Amazon. And then eventually got to the point where, like, Amazon said they were going to cancel it and they were going to refund me. But then they were like, no, we can't do that because it's already shipped. And I'm like, well, there's no way it's shipped because all they did was print the label. And the label was never updated the entire time. Matter of fact, I don't even know if it's still updated at this point. Track package. So it just says shipped still. It says it's shipped. Package arrived at carrier facility, so it hasn't even left. Fucking ridiculous. Oh no, they got it on the 29th, so they got it yesterday. So they officially picked it up. They said that the carrier picked up the package on April 6th, but yet it arrived at the carrier facility April 28th. Fucking scam, dude. I'm never pre-ordering anything on Amazon ever again. Because there was this thing where, like, if you pre-ordered it and then, like, you could wait until, like, a few days before the set was going to come out, because sometimes you could, like, pre-order it, like, dirt cheap, and then, like once something comes out, it, like, skyrockets in price, and you're like, yeah, I pre-ordered, I locked it in there, and I'm getting it dirt cheap. But, like, when you have to deal with this shit, like, I don't know. They shouldn't have charged me. It was ridiculous. And I've tried to fight with Amazon so many different times. And normally Amazon is good with that. Normally Amazon will take care of you. But the people that I got a hold of, they just would not do it, no matter what. And the seller kept saying that it's already in their warehouse, and they're not able to stop the delivery of it. And I'm like, dude, just go out to your warehouse and go find it. I don't care what you have to do, cancel it, because like it's ridiculous. It's gonna come here, I'm gonna fucking cancel it, and then I have to ship it back, and it's just annoying. I don't know, it bugs me. Very annoying. I think the horsemanship card in it is a popular Knights deck. Huh. Then it would probably be somewhere in this amount of cards. Is there a way to trending prices? Okay, here we go. Here we go. I like this. So, oh, you can't hover over the card to see what it is? That's annoying. Sealed product. Okay. So the lowest would be 159, 51, 31, 22. That's cheap. 20? Where's this at? Is this really this cheap? No way. Okay, I was gonna say 31. This doesn't make any sense. So there's 5 decks. 31, 33 is 64. Plus another 35 is 101. Plus another 39 is 140. Plus 68 is 208. But if you buy them all 5 together, they're 174. I would not buy them singly. Very interesting. Well, I'm glad one went up. I could probably sell both of mine and just almost pay for all of them. I don't know if this like, is this a thing that'll just like yeah, I was gonna say this did go up, right? Yeah, I was gonna say so it went from 46 to 60. I mean, it is the only one with Eminence in it as the commander, and I know Eminence is just like notoriously broken. I mean, it's notoriously good, I should say. Huh, 68, $54 or so, 68 lowest unopened. Interesting. Well, anyways, it's fun. It's been fun, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna try to do these once a week or so, just kind of like hang out, do something, whether it's a box opening or checking out some news, or maybe scouring Reddit for some fun, or whatever it is. Just hanging out with the stream. Maybe do some Commander raids development. I've got all kinds of cool ideas for Commander raids. Any kind of whether it's Gauntlet mode or the standard mode or the whatever mode we just come up with. I still have to, whenever I get around to it, I have to update the application to reflect our rule set 3 for Commander raids. Yeah, but hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I'm going to be going off to work now, so talk to y'all later. Enjoy your day, and thanks for watching.